Well, I think our cities will change because we won't be able to consume as much. Shit, I forgot the freaking word. Crude oil. You know. So,
Energy.
Energy. You know,
Yeah.
that's a mineral. What's the term for that?
What?
The,
Environment?
no, the this energy business. You know, we can't
Consume
energy. Yeah, I mean,
our energy supplies
our
are going to
energy
diminish.
supplies exactly will change. You know, and that is, and that's. I mean, we have to. I mean, okay. This is just interesting because I mean Germany has changed now, you know, and we have we will give up we will entirely give up nuclear energy. This is a big change. The first country in the world that will have a big impact on our future, which means is we won't be able. I mean, we will use our cars differently. I mean. So people will need to use different means of transportation and then change their habits in the future because I mean we won't be able to use oil and gas to the same extent as we used to in the future, and I mean that's what the 20th century, 21st century will change. Well, it's very funny to ask a German with our BMWs and Audis and Mercedes cars that you know go 200 and we're allowed to drive 200 on the autobahn, on the freeway, to change their habits. But I think we'll be forced to. I mean, there will be no way around it, you know, because so we'll just. And I don't know exactly how that is going to happen, but we will have to change our habits. I mean, use trains, you know, which is good in a country like Germany, where we have like distances of about 500 kilometers, and we have a very extensive railway system. People will use that more and more. You know, I mean, which at the same time means that the services will have to improve. You know, the Deutsche Bahn will have to improve, and they're working on it. But that's at the same time. It means that you have to think about how you use your cars, and we have car sharing systems in Berlin, quite a number of them, and you can see there that people are using them more and more. You know, more and more of these cars are visible on the street. You know, they have little smarts, you know, and they just pick them up, you know, for a couple of hours and park them back at a station, or they have now they will establish systems of loading your electric cars on the street. All that is being developed, but it'll of course it'll take a while, and then we'll see how that'll function. The interesting thing is that Berlin has given up the policy of approving parking spaces along with your residential permit. So let's say you build in other places, you have to provide a parking space per apartment. Berlin doesn't have that because, as it turned out, the city as it used to be could not absorb the number of cars. So I mean, people were confronted with the fact that that they don't have a parking space, and even like larger residential or very, let's say, posh apartment buildings did not provide a parking space. So I mean, more or less people are forced to give up their cars, and when you go around, your friends of mine don't have cars anymore. You know, they sold them, and they depend on public transportation. So what's wrong with that? You know, I mean, you have to change your life permanently, anyways. You know, and I think one of the reasons why humanity or mankind was able to survive is the ability to adapt.